So you said you helped them out with check-in. What was that whole process like?
Yeah, so it's very common for bluegrass festivals to have camping on site. It's very common for bluegrass festivals to deliver special wristbands for campers if they have 3-day admission to the festival. Oftentimes, camping passes are sold separately than 3-day festival passes or single-day festival passes. So you have to have you have to have an app or a fulfillment process that can accommodate all these various locations and ensure that the correct tickets are being checked in at the correct spot. So when I got out to Grand Targhee on Tuesday, they were actually winding up their Targhee Music Camp, which is not technically part of the festival. The long story short on this is folks and musicians can buy a separate pass to get to the festival site a week early and take lessons from the artists who are playing it. This is another thing that's very common in the bluegrass world where, and it's one of the reasons that bluegrass is so amazing is the musicians are so accessible. So people came to the site a week early, and they had purchased their camping passes if they were camping through TicketSignup, which was a separate kind of entity. I didn't really want someone showing up the week of music camp and being able to check in their festival passes because their festival wristbands weren't prepared yet. So using the app, we were able to configure a separate check-in display for the music campers. And we did that through using ticket groups. Within the app, you can partition your displays of various different spots on your festival by using configurations and choosing to display or hide different ticket groups. So during that week when the music camp was checking in, we displayed the music camp campers. So when they showed up, we could check in just their music camping ticket, give them their wristband, and then they went off to find their campsite. And then they took a week of lessons in the Grand Tetons, which was amazing. And then on Thursday night of that week, we opened up camping check-in for the general festival. And that was another little configuration. So we had the camping staff pull up what was called the front gate configuration, which allowed them to check in all the campsites. And the campsite is massive. It goes way back into the woods. There's undesignated meadow, RV lots, special lots in the trees where all the parties happen. So we had to have the front gate be able to check in those individuals as well as their 3-day passes and give them the correct wristbands. And there was another configuration that we used for the ticket booth, which I staffed for most of the weekend. And that was designed to check in all the non-camping passes, basically the 3-day festival passes, the daily festival passes for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday admission, as well as the late night shows. And there were 2 late night shows. And this is also a common thing in bluegrass festivals where some people just don't get enough music through the day. So festivals will oftentimes have a late night show. And those might happen every day. There might be multiples of them. But we had 2 late night shows at the Targhee Resort. It was Big Richard on Friday, and those were my friends that I played banjo with, and then Keller Williams on Saturday. And so that was the 4th check-in configuration. In the ticket booth, people could check in their pre-purchased late night shows and get that wristband. And then if they didn't do that, they could check in at the door. And so the check-in configurations are pretty complex. There's a lot of different tickets going on. There's a lot of different places where people need to get their correct wristbands, and the staff doing the check-in need to be able to see the correct data. So using the ticket check-in app and our configurations, we were able to build it all up so that the correct things were showing in the correct places, and it all went super well. I went out for a walk late night on Saturday. It's also a common thing at bluegrass festivals for after the music ends, people go back to the campsites and just play music until the sun comes up. So I went out looking for some jams. I brought my banjo with me and had a chat with some attendees who had said that after I kind of let them know who I was and what I was doing there, that they said that the check-in process was the smoothest that they'd experienced in Targhee since they've been coming. So I was really happy to hear that. I think our ticket sales process and check-in process really went very well at the festival.
And if anybody has any questions, like they're trying to move their music festival over to TicketSignup, where should they go for that?
Go to TicketSignup.io and click the button to schedule a call, and we'll reach out to you and chat about it. And I want to work with you, so let me know.
Well, thanks, James.